everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have March's TBR to be rolled. TBR game that I have been playing every month for over 2 years now. I will leave the newest January's video linked down below in case you're looking for like the new rules and everything like that. But basically we have this colorful die and each color corresponds with a different way of picking my TBR. Red is going to be somebody else picks my TBR, orange is a TBR box pick, yellow corresponds to different formats, genres, or ages of books, green are going to be challenge cards, blue is a poll pick, and purple is like required reading, things that I really want to get done in the month. All of these colors and ways of picking my book correspond to cards that we're going to pick. Presley will join us for that because he is very excited for this game, just like he is every single month. But yeah, that's the gist of this game. We're going to now review February's reading because we used to roll this ball only 5 times, but this year I implemented a D12 die so that we're at a minimum of 5 rolls, and in February we ended up having to roll the ball 11 times. So let's get into what we picked last month. The first roll was a purple and I picked The Midnight Prince. This is a book that I am currently reading and should have finished by the end of the month, so I'm going to count this as done. The next roll was orange, so I picked Fly with the Arrow. This was a 12 and 12 pick that I was very excited to read. I have not started it yet. I don't know if I'm going to finish it for this month, so we're going to count it as I did not finish it. The next roll was another orange, and I picked Fence Volume 4. I did finish this one already. Roll number 4 was a blue, which is a poll pick, and you guys voted for Misery by Stephen King. I have not read this one. Roll number 5 was purple, and I picked Say You'll Be Mine. This one actually was also the book club pick for my Patreon book club for February, and I have read this one. Roll number 6 was another orange, and I picked Heroine Worship. I did not read this one this month. Roll number 7 was a purple, and I picked an arc, which was The White and Blue Between Us. I have read and reviewed this one. Roll number 8 was a blue, so another poll pick, and you guys voted for An Enchantment of Ravens. I have read this one. Roll number 9 was yellow, and I did pick Prince Charming. This was my buzzword pick for the month of February, and I did finish this as well. Roll number 10 was another yellow, and I picked Heat of the Moment. I did not get to this one. And finally, roll number 11 was a green, and I picked The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, so not this whole thing, but the second book in the series, and I did finish this as well. So out of those 11 books that I was supposed to read in February, I did read 7 of them, but I also read 5 other books that were not part of this list. So one thing I decided to implement this year is saving $1 for every book that I read within 2024. I have no idea how much money we're going to save, but I'm very excited to see what we have at the end of the year. And a punishment that I decided to implement for this is during this TBR game, whatever books I don't finish from the actual TBR that we picked, so like I said, I read 7 out of 11 books, we're still gonna save money for those books that I didn't read. So instead of just saving $7 for those books I read, we're gonna save 11, and then because I read 5 other books during the month, we're actually gonna be saving $16. So it's not just 7 plus 5, it's 11 plus 5. And the money is going to go in this book tin that looks like a book, The Book of Eyes, specifically from Sorcery of Thorns. And it looks like I have $16 in here from previous as well, so we now have $32. And so that should be the whole wrap up for last month. Now let's go into the things that I am planning on reading in the month of March. The first thing that I have here, and should be no surprise if you've been following my TBRs for the last couple of months, I am doing a read-along of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I'm one of the co-hosts along with Mel, Ren, Ashley, and Ash. I will leave them linked down below in case you're curious about that. We've had 2 live shows so far. And so in the month of March, we're reading book 3, which is Life, the Universe, and Everything. The first 2 books The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and The Restaurant at the End of the Universe were rereads for me. This is the first time we're going into a new book for me. I'm very excited to read it and see how I feel and go to the discussion because we've been having a great time doing that. So I need to try to get that on this TBR. The next thing I really need to read in March is going to be for my Patreon book club. We have The Name Bearer by Natalia Hernandez. This is an indie book and this is the Rainbow Crate edition. It is very gorgeous. And because I have it through Rainbow Crate, I don't 100% know what this is about. It is going to be, I think, YA Latinx inspired fantasy, but because again we have Rainbow Crate, we have nutrition facts. So let me just run through those for you. Representation is going to be sapphic, non-binary, plus size, Latinx, and Afro-Latinx. Genre is Latin inspired fantasy. So far so good for me. Plot, magic flowers, slow burn, discovering yourself, and weapons training. And demographics, actually it says 50 young adult and 50 adult. So it looks like it maybe has some crossover appeal. This is the book that we're going to be reading in March. I'm very excited for this, and this is the last Patreon book club pick that I have announced so far because I'm going to do like each quarter at a time. So keep an eye out in March for the next 3 months worth of picks. Then I have 2 arcs. One is one that I mentioned last month because it actually is coming out about middle of March, and I didn't get to it in February, so it is a high priority for the beginning of March, and it's going to be Those Beyond the Wall by Micaiah Johnson. This is a sequel sort of book to The Space Between Worlds, which the year I read it I think was like my top book of the year. Like I absolutely loved it, and so I'm very excited for this one. It's going to be adult sci-fi. The first book in the series had sapphic romance in there, even though it wasn't like a big part of the story, it was there. I'm very curious to see where this one's going to go. I think it's the second book Micaiah Johnson has ever published, and so I'm very, very excited. The next arc I have here will be coming out in April, so again, I'm hoping to get to it in March to get on top of those. It's going to be Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. I read The Plus One by Maisie Eddings last year. Absolutely loved it. One of my top romances of the year. It was dealing with mental health issues and things like that in the book as well, not just the romance. And this one is going to be sapphic. I don't remember anything else about it. I absolutely love the cover. I have really been loving romances lately. Last year in 2023, a lot of my favorites of the year were romance. Like I just had a great romance year, and so far romance is my top read genre for this year. So yeah, I need to read that as well. And then I have my 12 in 12 books, 12 friends for the year. I don't know what I'm picking for this month, especially since I didn't actually do my one for February, but I want to pick one in this TBR if possible. And then we also have the buzzword, and for March it is a character name in the title of the book. I don't have any books that I have to read on my list that I just told you about that have a character name in the title. So that's another thing I'm going to be looking out for when we do the TBR. And so that should be all the housekeeping. I'm going to be getting Presley. We're going to roll the ball, but right before we actually like roll the ball, I'm going to take my D12 die. We're going to roll it and see exactly how many times I need to roll this ball. Again, minimum is 5. If I roll a number below 5, we're adding 5 to it to get our actual number. So yeah. Okay, here we have the D12. I mean, it is a wolf on the 12, but it is the D12. So let's see, how many times am I going to roll the ball today? 12. We have more room now to roll the ball because we got a new couch recently. So hopefully we have a lot of playing area here. And we have to roll the ball 12 times.
Yes, 12 times.
Yeah, 12 times. Plus, I, again, forgot to say, I feel like I do this every single time. If we roll the same color 3 times, or more, I guess, we are going to add another roll. I feel like we're definitely going to do that this time because of the fact that we have to roll 12 times. But Presley is here. Presley is ready. Yeah?
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, roll number
1.
1. I'm definitely right in the way.
It's red.
Red. So roll number 1 is red. So we're going to pick red cards. Okay. Pick a card, any card.
It is one.
The one on top.
It says Presley.
It does say Presley, so that means you get to pick a book. For me. Okay, so we walked over to my shelves and Presley picked Into the Heartless Wood by Joanna Ruth Meyer. This is an author who lives in Arizona, and I went to like an Arizona author signing a little over a year ago. Have not read it yet, but this is going to be YA, and I'm trying to remember what she told me the comps for this were. Okay, I cannot remember for the life of me what the author said the comps for this book were, but looking online, it's saying it's sort of like a Little Mermaid retelling, but I know it's set in the wood, and there's like some sort of witch or curse or something like that. So it is going to be very like fantasy, maybe fairy tale retelling-esque, and this was Presley's pick. Roll number 2.
What is it?
Let's see. Ready?
Oh!
It's
Green!
green. Roll number 2 was green, which is one of my favorites because these are challenge cards. So let's do it. Okay, green cards. Still right on top. Ooh, okay. A book over 500 pages.
500 pages?
Yep. Okay.
500 is a big number.
500 is a big number. Yeah, so this challenge card is not my favorite, especially because we're already starting off with 12 rolls, and I've been finding myself reading a lot of like 300 page average books, like that's the average. So a little bit intimidating, even though I know I do like a good long book. Let's see what we have here. Yes, and I feel like the easiest way to do this is going on Goodreads to see what do I have that's over 500 pages. Let's go to my TBR and let's go by number of pages, and let's see. Okay, so I feel like I have 2 different options for this. One is the Tommyknockers by Stephen King that I do need to finish, but it's like 900 pages.
900 pages.
Which is a lot, but like I need to get into that Stephen King project more. I still have 4 books that I need to finish for the 1980s to get that vlog out for you all, and I feel like I'm failing at that. The other stuff I can do is we do have some other ones that are 500, but I do have a manga bind up that's technically 3 volumes in one that is over 500 pages, and I feel like that would be very easy to fit into my schedule of things. So do I do the easy thing, or do I do something that is slightly harder but I know I need to do anyway? Okay, so the thing about this video, the TBR game, is if I decide to trade something out, I can. I don't do that very often because I'll just take the L and like I will say, yep, I didn't do that book, but I do want to try and do as many as possible. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to say the Tommyknockers by Stephen King, which is, like I said, over 900 pages. This one's like 979. But one thing I will say is the text actually looks like a pretty good size in here. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've read books with much smaller text size. If for some reason I'm feeling very overwhelmed by this, I will probably switch it out for The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabe. This is my deluxe edition. I've never read this, but like it was gorgeous, and I got it during like a sale one time, so I couldn't pass it up. It's 3 volumes in one, so it is also over 500 pages. This would be much, much quicker to read than this one, but I'm gonna go with the Tommyknockers for now. You ready?
Yes.
Roll number 3. Roll it this way. Ooh, it's
Orange.
orange. And then roll number 3 is orange. This goes to the TBR box. We're gonna pick a card saying how many papers we can pick from the box. Here's the orange cards. Still going for the top one. It says, oh, show the camera.
It's 3.
It is 3. Okay, so here is the TBR box. We're gonna pick 3 papers out and then pick what book I'm gonna pick from that. I'm saying pick a lot, I'm sorry. Let's do it. I do have all of my most recent book hauls in here, including the February one that I have not filmed yet for you all, but I do have it in here in case we pick that book. So let's do number 1. Pick number 1 is The Similars by Rebecca Hanover. This is a YA book about like clones or something like that. I'm very curious about it. The cover looks very mysterious. Number 2 is Only Human by Sylvain Neuvel. This is not the first book. I don't remember if it's the second or the third, but it's in the Sleeping Giants series by Sylvain Neuvel, which I have not read, so if I pick this, I'm going to be reading Sleeping Giants. And then number 3 is Princess Jellyfish volumes 8 and 9. I do have some of my manga in here buddied up with another volume, and the thing about this one is I wanted to reread everything before I get to 8 and 9. So I reread volume 1 last year. Was it last year already? I think it was. So if I pick this, it would be volume 2 and 3, but I sort of wanted to pick a new thing, but at the same time I know I'm going to have to read a lot of things. Okay, so I was very tempted to pick Princess Jellyfish. However, I'm gonna go with Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel because I double checked and my library does have the audiobook version to download to listen to through my library. This is the Libby app, so I'm gonna do that because I've been listening to audiobooks during drives for taking Presley to school and things. So this is an adult sci-fi. I think it's like one of those like humans discover a hand, like a giant hand, and it's a sci-fi thing. I don't know anything else about it. It was very, very popular a few years ago. I have the entire trilogy. I have not read it. We're going with Sleeping Giants. Roll number 4. Ready?
Green again.
Green again. Roll number 4 was another green. So back to the green cards. Here they are.
What is it?
Going off the top again. Okay, this says adaptation.
Adaptation.
So for this one, this means I need to pick a book that has been transformed into a movie or a TV show, and then read and watch. I also have some things that are book media from video games, and so I also feel like if I've played it before, I could read that, or I could read and play, something like that. Let's see. Okay, I think that means it's time to actually read The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. This is something that I had on one of my TBRs last year sometime. Remind me, I want to put a previous TBR or some sort of card in my greens, because I have quite a few things that, as you guys know from the beginning of this video, I do not read my entire TBR. There are things that I've put on TBRs and I have not read them, so I do not have a current card for that. Remind me, I want to make one of those. I want to read this and watch the movie. So yeah, this is horror. I don't know if it's psychological or anything like that. I just know it's about a family that like goes to a cabin and people come and tell them something about how they're gonna save the world from the end of the world or cause the end of the world, or I don't know, but I'm very curious about this one. Roll number 5
is blue.
Blue.
What is your favorite color?
It is my favorite color. Roll number 5 is blue. So this one is going to be a poll pick for you. Here are the blue ones. Again, Presley is picking from the top of the stack. I dropped some, but that's okay. What does it say?
Green.
Yep, green. Ooh. Okay, so now we're at the green cards. Reread, okay.
Reread.
Don't think I was planning on rereading anything this month, but now apparently I am, and you guys are gonna pick it for me. Okay, I have 3 books picked for you to do a poll pick for rereads. They all ended up having blue or like white and blue covers. I did not mean to do this, but let's start with this one. I have Princess Jellyfish Volume 2 by Akiko Higashimura. Like I said earlier, I did want to reread this series to then finish it because I've never officially finished it. So if you want to make me reread a manga because I need to finish it, that's pick number 1. I also have The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This has a blue spine, so yeah. I have never finished this series either. And so one of my 12 books, 12 friends is from Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, and she wants me to finish the series, so her pick is actually The Raven King, because I've just never read the last book in the series, but it's been so long, and I do like this series that I want to reread them. So again, if you want to make me start this series again, to reread it, to finish it, because I need to do that. This is your other pick. And then finally, same sort of concept. I've never finished the series, would really, really like to. It's been so long since I've read it. Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. I absolutely love this book. I've read it a few times. I've actually read up through book 3 or 4 in the series. I own pretty much the whole series, and I just have never re-picked them up to reread them to continue the series. So again, if you would like to make me reread something so that I eventually finish the series, that's your choice. So you have 3 books to pick that all technically are to make me finish the series. I will have this up as a poll pick on my Instagram stories when this goes live. It'll be up for about 24 hours. If you miss that, you can always leave a comment down below as well. I count those into the total. So yeah, rereads. Roll number 6.
Yay!
Okay.
It's red.
It's red. Again. Roll number 6 is another red. Okay, here is our red again. Oh, picking from the bottom of the stack.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, what does it say?
Elliot.
Elliot. Okay, so Elliot's actually at school right now. I will be getting her in about an hour, and I will put a clip in here for what she picks. So Elliot is here. It is the next day. We are going to pick a book. What I have decided to do
What is?
is I have my 12 books, 12 friends list here. One book has already been read, but there are a lot of options here, and I'm gonna have Elliot pick one off the screen. I'm just gonna have to see where her finger goes because of the fact that like none of this is like you click it and it opens, but we're gonna have her pick from this list. So Elliot, which one? Which one? Point at it. Which one do I read? Point. Can you touch it? Oh yeah. Which one? Can you pick?
11.
Touch the one you pick. Okay. So she's touching with her whole hand here, but she has picked Zachary Ying and The Dragon Emperor by TBR. This was a recommendation from Athena's Biblioteca on Instagram, so it looks like that is going to be the next pick. Zachary Ying, I'll put the picture here because I don't actually own the book. I think this is something I'll be able to get on audio through my library. It is a middle grade series that is fantasy and Chinese history, I think, based, and it's also sort of based on like Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all I know about it, but I am very curious about this middle grade series because it is by the same author as Iron Widow, which I absolutely love.
We are getting a lot of colors.
We are getting a lot of colors. Roll number 7. It's
yellow.
yellow. Roll number 7 is yellow. We haven't gotten yellow yet today. This is going to be format of book, age group of book. You'll see. Okay, yellow cards. From the top, it says young adult. So I feel like that's self-explanatory. I need to pick a young adult book. And the thing is, I so far, at least as of filming, don't have anything ebook wise. I have some stuff that I'm potentially going to read as audiobooks. I have physical books, so I do want to go through my ebooks and see what young adult ebook do I have. And you know what? I have the perfect thing. Last month you guys had to do a poll pick that ended up being 2 young adult books, so you picked one over the other, and the other one was an ebook that I do want to read, and I had a couple people mention that they absolutely loved both choices and it was so hard to pick between. So last month I read An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This month I'm going to read Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. This is going to be a contemporary YA story with a trans main character. That's all I know, but a lot of people love this. I've been meaning to read it and just haven't, so that's what we're going to do. Roll number 8. Ready?
Oh, wow! It's purple.
It's right behind me, but it is purple. Okay, roll number 8 is purple. Finally, we're getting some required reading on in here because I haven't gotten any yet. Okay, here are the purple cards.
Bing.
From the top again. Oh,
That's it.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is in here as required reading because I have a ton of original series Star Trek books. that I just have on a shelf that I haven't been reading because I don't go over there very often and pick them out. I don't have anything particularly off the top of my head where I'm like, that's the one I need to read. Let me go find one. Okay, this is taking forever for me to find one. Let me know if you have a better suggestion, like if you really, really like Star Trek books. But the one that popped out to me, partly because it was easy to get to, but partly because I know I've heard this one talked about a little bit before, is The Idic Epidemic by Jean Laura. I feel like I've read a different one by Jean Laura that I really liked. Like, this is a name, the author name, that pops into my head and I like recognize. Also, it does look like it's set during the original series. Some of these original series books that I have are like set during the movie timeline, and I'd prefer to read one with them younger and earlier. And this is supposed to be about a plague that is threatening Idic, which is like infinite diversity in infinite combination. So yeah. Roll number 9. It's
purple again.
It is purple again. Okay, then roll number 9 was another purple. Since this video has been going on for so long, filming wise, Presley is done picking cards for once. So I'm going to pick a purple now. And because I can do whatever I want, we're gonna pick from the middle of the pile.
Middle.
Oh, buzzword. Okay, and so like I said at the beginning of the video, the buzzword is for a character's name to be in the title. And none of my required reading has that, so I'm gonna end up picking something that I wasn't planning on reading, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, okay, I picked the first one I saw, but also I'm very excited for it. We're gonna read Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I absolutely love Chloe Brown. I have the nice Illumicrate hardcover editions, and I just haven't continued in the series because I am bad about that. Very bad about that. But I also know there are quite a few people where Danny Brown is their favorite of the series, or at least, you know, beats out Chloe Brown for them. So yeah, I definitely need to do this. Is this the one that's like either fake dating or friends to lovers or something? I don't remember. Oh, yep, fake relationship. I'm all here for it. Roll number 10. We have some doubles. I feel like a triple's coming soon.
Whoa!
Oh, it's
Green
again. That's our third green. Then roll number 10 was another green. This was our first triple color, so we're gonna add a roll on. But yeah, green cards. And again, because it's me and Presley is busy doing his own thing, I'm gonna be taking these cards, not looking at them, just looking at you, and picking from the middle of the pile. We want a book that is the first in a series.
Pick the middle.
You want to pick from the middle next time?
Yes.
Okay, on the next cards, you can pick from the middle. Okay, this one was definitely easier for me. The first book in a series. We're gonna go with The Name Bearer by Natalia Hernandez. This is the book club pick that I need to read, and it is a first in a series because the second book I think has already released in the series. I could be mistaken, but it's a series starter. That's all we really need. That's what we're gonna go with. Roll number 11.
11.
That's you. You get to roll it.
Okay.
You get to roll number 11. Ready? Whoa.
Well, it's red again.
It's red again. Roll number 11 was red. This is the third red as well, so we're gonna add another roll. Okay, Presley's coming back because he really wants to pick from the middle of the pile, and we're gonna let him. So,
which is the middle?
well, where's the middle?
Right here.
Yeah. Pick. There you go. Pick. What does it say?
Riley.
Riley. Okay, so my sister is also gonna pick a book. She is also at school. I will insert a clip here letting you know what she has picked. Okay, so Riley was not able to be on camera because she came home late from school yesterday, has lots of stuff going on, and is also staying late at school today. So what she did is she picked a book for me that I'm just gonna show you. So she picked it last night. She picked Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. Now, this is a book that has been in a potential unhaul pile for a while. Like, I think I even mentioned it in an unhaul video last year sometime, saying, like, I really think I'm gonna get rid of it, but I'm not too sure because I'm really getting out of the high school area type of stuff, but this does have to do with like K-pop and things like that, and so like it is gonna be like a young adult romance. I'm curious about it, so that's why I still own it, but I don't think it's on my TBR anymore. Like I think I took it off. But yeah, this is the one that she picked for me.
Ooh,
Number 12. Ready?
It's red.
Okay, it's red again.
Red.
The fourth red, but that doesn't really matter. Then roll number 12 was another red, but it's the fourth of the red, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna pick more red cards. Okay, Presley's back. We don't know if he's gonna pick from the bottom, the top, or the middle, but where are you gonna pick? The top? Okay.
Two cards.
Okay.
What
It says patron. So I'm gonna go on the Discord and put a post in there saying, hey, I need people to pick a book for my TBR. And again, I will put it in here once we have some answers. Okay, so I did post on my Discord for my patrons, like, hey, I need somebody to pick a book for me. I let as many people answer as possible, and it's been almost 24 hours now. I had somebody pick Butcher and Blackbird. Somebody else picked Sight Witch, because they're making me read through the whole series, which I am okay with. I already read Wind Witch in January. One person said Fourth Wing or Butcher and Blackbird, and I do need to read Fourth Wing. It's part of my 12 books, 12 friends, but I have a friend that wants to buddy read it with me later in the year, and I have 2 votes for Butcher and Blackbird, but it's something that I wasn't intentionally going to read. So I have one other patron who said to read one of my arcs. They're like, not sure which one, but pick one of them. I do need to read those, and I didn't get any arcs on this TBR, so thank you, Kirsty. I am going to actually pick an arc. I know this seems sort of like an out because you didn't give me a specific book, but at the same time, out of these ones here and the fact that I have books that I need to read, like arcs, and this TBR is going to be huge, I am going to pick an arc, and I think I'm going to go with Those Beyond the Wall by Micaiah Johnson because it is the one that is coming out first out of the ones that I mentioned earlier in the video. Let's roll 13. Ready?
Roll 13.
Roll 13. That was a good one.
Well, it's
Blue. Okay, we're getting into our bonus rolls. Roll number 13 was blue, so another poll pick for you. Okay, here are blue. Presley said he wants to pick from the middle, so he's gonna pick. Got it? Here we go. What color is that?
red.
Red. Okay, red cards again. Pick wherever you want. From the top. Oh! It says hubby. Do you know what that means?
What?
Daddy gets to pick.
Oh.
Okay, honey?
You pick a book.
Well, not only does Daddy need to pick a book, Daddy needs to pick between 2 to 4 books for you guys to vote on. Yes, please.
Is there a theme or anything?
That's up to you. The theme is Leon. It's on here.
So many books.
I do. He has chosen 3 books for you guys to pick. One is off of my books that I need to haul for February and have not done yet, so that will be coming out soon, but it's just not time for that yet. It is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This I did get at Costco, so that's why there's a sticker still on it. It was a good price. I've been wanting to read this, especially because Kayla from Books and Lala really loved it. It was like one of her favorites of 2023, and I recently did like a booktuber favorite vlog sort of thing, and I really wanted to get this, but I bought it after I finished doing that vlog because I wasn't able to get it from the library, but I now have this. Then he picked something from my TBR that I've had for a while, and actually it was in the middle grade section. He picked Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. This is a middle grade fantasy paranormal sort of thing with like a skeleton private detective thing. That's all I really know. It's a big series, very beloved. And then he decided to also pick something from my ebook TBR, and he went through for a while because I have a lot of things on here. He picked When Wishes Bleed by Casey L. Bond. I believe this is a YA paranormal romance sort of one because like a lot of these I got during Stuff Your Kindle. It says one prince, one witch, one fate. That's just on the cover. I don't know anything else about it. So again, this will be a poll pick going up at the same time this video goes up. You have about 24 hours there, or you can leave a comment down below. And then roll number 14.
14!
This could either be our last roll, or we could get a triple of a color because we have some doubles. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see what we get. Roll number 14.
Orange.
Oh, you gotta show the camera. Orange. And then finally, roll number 14 is orange again. So we're going back to the TBR box. Okay, pick a card. Back at the top. What does it say?
5.
5. Okay, so we're gonna pick 5 papers, and I'm gonna pick a TBR book from that. So number 1 is Blind Man's Wolf by Amelia Faulkner. This is a book that I've had on my TBR forever, it feels like. One of the oldest books that I have on ebook, like on my Kindle e-reader, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's male paranormal romance. Number 2 is The Eighth Rank by Rose Sinclair. This is another one that I got during Stuff Your Kindle, because we talked about that a little while ago. I don't remember what this is about, but it's another ebook. That's good. Number 3, The Coven's Secret by Alicia Reads. I believe this is another one that I got during Stuff Your Kindle. It sounds like it's going to be a witchy paranormal romance. Number 4 is Magician's Muse by Linda Joy Singleton. I don't know if this is the next book in the series that I need to read, but it is part of a series that is like a YA series, was coming out in the early 2000s. I think it is out of print now, and I've been wanting to keep reading this. I think I've read the first 2, so this could be another one. I just don't remember if it's book 3 or not. And then finally, number 5 is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. This one would be an Illumicrate book. I'm leaning more towards the ebooks just because I don't have a ton of ebooks on this TBR. So let me look those up and see what we have. Okay, so I think because I do want to go with an ebook, I'm leaning toward The Coven's Secret by Alicia Reads. This is supposed to be a witchy university college story with romance, obviously. And I like the idea of that setting because I'm getting out of like the high school aged setting, high school kids that are teenagers, but I do like the idea of aging people up and going to university instead. So I think that's the one I'm going to go with. I don't know anything else about it, but that's the one I'm gonna pick. So that is going to be everything for today. Again, at the time of filming this, I don't know what Elliot or Riley or Patreon has picked. You should know by now when you guys are watching this video. Besides that, this is the current physical TBR. You also have 2 poll picks. So we're gonna be adding, what, like 4 more books to this stack. In your mind, just do it in your mind because I don't know what they are personally. But yeah, March is going to be a huge reading month apparently, or at least a month where I save a lot of money. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye.